these very brief video episodes, I shall be talking about what, according to me, should be the key focus for 2024 for various brands which are dealing in smartphones, wearables, laptops, smart TVs, and other such categories. Now, this kind of anchor focus or mission objective for 2024 for these brands is derived after analyzing their priorities for 2023, their performance for 2023, as well as keeping in mind the opportunities and the market dynamics that are likely to play for 2024. So today I'll start this series by talking about Samsung. But before I talk about what their priority should be, I would like to play this game, which is like for every brand I talk about in these episodes, I like to correlate or reflect the performance of the brand in 2023 with some of the popular Bollywood songs. I like this activity somehow. So for Samsung, I have two songs. One, of course, is Hari Bazi Ko Jeetna Jise Aata Hai, and the second is Yahan Ke Hum Sikandar. Incidentally, both the songs are from the same movie. Looking at how Samsung uh, reclaimed its position in the market of smartphones, it definitely, proved to these two songs and regained its market standing, regains its stature in smartphones, uh, became market leader by volume for a couple of quarters. By value, it already is, among the market leader out there. But will this momentum continue for 2024? Although, like this has been one of the great years for Samsung. Uh, I have a personal feeling that the changing market dynamics may not work uh, the way they are right now, which means Samsung also needs to rekindle its strategy for 2024. Now, what is happening right now is in smartphones, technology has become very much predictable. More or less, the building blocks available with any OEM are safe. You have just a handful of component suppliers whom you have to utilize to create these smartphones. Then from OS, software, application point of view, a lot of it is has become, so to say, generic. So you can't differentiate basis technology. That's the crux right now. Yes, you may have early mover advantage, but obviously it's not sustainable over a period of time. And today, even the laggard brand catches up very quick. So you can't say that, okay, I'll introduce something today, and for the next 3 years, 5 years, I have early mover advantage and let me skip the market. That's not going to work now. So what is very important for Samsung is perhaps to probably, you know, confine its focus, confine its territory, define its territory, define where it wants to be. Samsung right now is the only brand, or among very few brands, which is present across the segments. It has something in the affordable as well as in the ultra premium segment. So that is something which probably Samsung needs to take a call on. Yes, in the short term, it will lose some market share. It may not see growth in revenues, but one has to be ready for and prepared for these kind of sacrifices in the short term to keep the long term objective in mind. And I'm sure Samsung would obviously want and always has played with a long term vision. So this is something which probably in 2024 Samsung needs to think of. Do they curtail a few of the categories or segments, I mean to say, which in effect means they kind of stop some of the category series out there. A kind of corollary to it would also mean really, defining what is the scope of A series. I've also already written about it, but A series is very spread and it overlaps, on one hand with M series and on the other hand with S series, at least the FE editions of the S series. So that is something which Samsung would need to think in 2024. What role does it want to play in the industry? Uh, what are the values that different categories of users recognize in Samsung and they become its consumers? And in the end, eventually filter out probably some of the categories which may be right now very lucrative, but do not resonate with the brand in the long term. So that is something I think Samsung has to take a call this year. I know it's not going to be an easy call. It's going to be one of the toughest decisions that Samsung has to take. But probably I think the time now is uh, that when they have to take this kind of a call. Uh, for instance, yes, as I said, there is no very sustainable early more advantage. But Samsung fundamentally is a strong R&D company. It has a lot of resources. It controls a considerable value chain. So, looking at all of it, probably Samsung could play its role in AI-defined smartphones, which in itself means that it may not be in all the categories because you cannot right now bring out an AI smartphone or on-device AI smartphone across different segments, which means you will confine yourself to some of the segments. That is probably what Samsung would need to think in 2024. And if it doesn't, maybe start with 2024, but at least puts across some of the thoughts across this point of view, this perspective as well, that if it has to regain its relevance, regain its relevance as a brand in the smartphone industry. What does Samsung stand for? What does it want to achieve in the long term? Uh, you know, who does it really see its consumer in the long term? Obviously, all segments cannot be Samsung's consumer today. Those times have changed. Earlier, what used to be the philosophy? Philosophy would be that okay, if you are able to cater to segment A, you have the resources, expand into and expand and widen the base, get into segment B, segment C, and segment N, and so on and so forth. But today things have changed. Okay, you have to be, as I have already said sometime back in one of our reports, that 2024 onwards it's going to be survival of the finest. So that finesse will come only if you focus maybe on a category or a few category or segments. What I mean to say, that is what Samsung would need to think about in 2024, keeping its long-term objectives in mind. This is what I have for Samsung. I'll be back with another brand next time. Till then, keep watching and do share your comments and any observations and maybe views and counter views you may have, and let's have a good discussion and debate around it. I'll be with you very soon. Till then, have a great day. Bye.